Podcast. As y'all already know, I'm your host Madison, and not to toot my own horn, but it is my birthday. Woo! So, okay, now if you guys are familiar with this is the principals week, so make sure you guys give a great shout out to y'all assistant principals. And now I'm going to be having a talk show of mine. Now let's introduce y'all. So today I have with me.
I'm Miss Baez. I'm one of the assistant principals, and you guys know me as Auntie.
I'm Miss V, Miss Venditti.
I'm Miss Durfee, Miss D.
Okay, so how you guys feeling today? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. How's your day?
No. We're feeling alright. The weather's
not bad,
but
horrible,
we're feeling okay.
But first off, let's start off with like the perks. Like, how do you guys like being the assistant principals? Like, what do y'all like enjoy from it?
Who wants to go first?
I enjoy the amount of kids I get to interact with, as opposed to when I was a teacher.
No?
Yeah, I enjoy, there's a lot of things that I enjoy. I enjoy being able to make some decisions that can impact the students and the teachers. Because I think a big part of our job is also helping teachers out, so I like to be able to help them out as well.
I think I'm similar to you, where I enjoy, I don't think the decision making, but more the experience of being able to be in classrooms, and not the meeting part. I don't like meetings. Oh, sorry, I said that right. But being able to interact.
Be honest, be true.
Oh, spill that tea, right? We're gonna spill tea today, AP style. But I do like being able to live in so many different worlds when it comes to education. It's never the same day.
Good. Okay, now if I'm not mistaken, you guys all have different jobs, because I'm pretty sure I don't all do the same thing. So like y'all, what like criteria do y'all like help with?
So my sort of area of expertise, you guys probably see me a lot in the counselor office or in classrooms, less in the halls. That's a lot of their job, less of my job. But I really work closely with the counselors to make sure everyone's credits and regents are on point. And then I work closely with the teachers to, give them some advice and feedback on teaching and getting better, especially math and science. If you don't know, I think a lot of you do know, math is my subject that I love. So if you can't find me, I'm probably in Mr. Bode's room.
Cool. I could only count my money, so I'm going to stay away from math and science. So for Durfee and I, we do more of the one of the departments that I love, even though sometimes their teachers don't think so.
Anything else you want to add?
I get to work one point that's really interesting with the 9th grade this year. And they came in and there are a lot of new behaviors they need to learn and a lot of exciting social interactions they have to have, and they just need some help getting there. And so getting to do some of that work and connect what's going on with their behavior, and then maybe helping the teachers to navigate that and bringing that together is a special place to be.
Okay, now since you guys brought up subjects, I heard that you used to be an ELA teacher. Is that not what I'm mistaken?
Fun fact, yes. I actually started back in what we called a different era. It was Banana Kelly at the time, and I was hired from teaching 1st grade at a charter to 12th grade English. If you guys know one of the school culture members, Mr. Levy, I always say he was actually one of my students. So I did teach ELA first and then transition to be an assistant principal here. I think you're a little similar in how you got here.
Yep, I was a teacher, a high school math teacher at a few different schools. And then I became a math coach where I coach the teachers to help them get better at Banana Kelly. I don't even know what to say Banana Kelly.
We don't say that word on the podcast. Inside tea on one day.
I worked with some of the teachers here to help them get better, and that's where Dr. Johnson and I met, and she did an EP, and here I am.
Did you like having teaching?
I taught for 22 years up until last year. I taught writing, advanced placement
Oh,
writing.
yeah, Mom got something.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about what you guys did. Well, let's say before y'all became assistant principal, was that always the approach that y'all always wanted to be in that field, or it just like chose you?
It definitely chose the mean streets of LPA chose me. I actually ended up in education by accident. I thought I was smart, but I went to Long Island University and failed math for the first time because I thought I was going to be an accountant. And my counselor at the time looked at me and said, "Nah, I think you could do education." So I ended up becoming a teacher. And I just always moved like a boss. So while I was a teacher, I was still moving around making decisions. And the opportunity came one day, and Dr. John said, "Hey, I need an AP. I need someone with English experience," and that's how I got it.
Not for you, or teaching always?
Teaching was always my thing. I went to
for real? So that's what you were stuck on.
It is. I went to undergrad for teacher education. I did 4 years. I started teaching right out of undergrad. I had a assistant principal in high school who I really admired, and I thought I could be like her. I want to be like her. So eventually it led me to be an AP, but I did study math education in undergraduate.
Cool.
Actually,
okay, yeah. It's all about y'all.
one of the things in terms of the connections is all those years teaching writing, I always felt like students, in order to care about what other people are writing about, all these authors who are asking you to read, they have to be authors and people who create themselves. And so students would start to tell me their stories. And when you start to hear those stories, you really feel like those are things that should be informing instruction, and that teachers need to base their curriculum around how can we connect to those stories. So I just also wanted to
Bring in the heart.
Yeah. Okay, so like, while you said that your assistant principal in your high school inspired you, do y'all guys think that the high school that you guys went to like shaped y'all into who y'all are today? First off, like, what was your high school experience, and how was the assistant principal there?
Absolutely not. Shout out to the nuns that were in my high school. No shade to them. I'm a Catholic school kid since pre-K all the way to 12. I went to St. Michael's Academy, which is an all-girl Catholic high school. They were great educators, I guess, but I didn't understand the role back then. They didn't look like me, sound like me, nor like you guys. So it was just an educator in front of me. I never imagined that what I was looking at was going to be the job that I was going to fulfill. And I have to say, being an assistant principal currently is a little different. It's not your traditional job anymore. Kids have changed, education has changed, so I'm not sure it looked the way we handle it. What do you guys think?
I agree with that. I think that you have a completely different set of jobs from, you could be mopping up, I'm just going to be straight, you could be mopping up a kid's blood one day and then observing a teacher in the next hour. And I think that as an educator, you have to be absolutely ready and prepared to give your best from situation to situation.
Want to elaborate?
No,
Okay.
Wait, but she said, how were we in high school? Though?
Right. And I also heard, I heard from you that you used to do track.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
track was later in life. When I was in high school, I was very involved in things. I actually did dance. I know. I'm holding out on Miss Avis. I don't know if she knew that. Played softball. Now, later in life, I've become a runner. Yes. But in high school, I did get involved in things. But I remember my high school counselor, I applied to colleges, and I did end up going to NYU. But I applied to NYU, and he said, I think you need some more safe schools on your list. Because he didn't think I could get in. And then I got in. So I think that there
You
were...
should text him and be
I know.
Yeah.
I remember that
You
story
should
because
go shade.
I worked hard, but I wasn't the best student. But I always tried to work hard, get involved in things. That's why those extracurriculars do help. Because I wasn't like the top student in the class, but because of all the other things I did, I felt like it helped set me on the right path to get into a good college, get some scholarships, and here I am. So high school was a good experience. It was a little mixed for me. Yeah.
Durfee, what kind of kid were you?
Oh, see,
Oh,
I was
boy.
trying to avoid that.
We're still live.
I didn't come into my academic excellence until my later years, towards like senior, junior year. So I loved reading. I didn't just necessarily love reading what the teachers told me. I like writing. I didn't necessarily write like what the teachers wrote me. So a lot of these kids that I'm so hard on, it's because I don't want them to be making up 10 gym credits right before they graduate, running around the campus like I had to, because I relate to that. I understand what it's like to be told. But as a high schooler, I struggled with the structure.
So you like having fun?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, you can say that, like, have fun. There's nothing to talk about. Like, how was your college experience?
College was so
Fun.
I loved college. I think I got very involved in high school and college. I didn't get as involved in extracurriculars, but the one thing I did do was I studied abroad, and that like changed my just outlook on life. So I went to another country, Italy, for a whole semester.
That's beautiful.
It was awesome, and it was a great experience. And
I like that.
a lot of colleges have study abroad experiences.
Yeah,
and like you take your credits over in another country. It could be they have lots of different countries. Yeah, so that was definitely a turning point for me, and just let me see a part of the world I've never been to. And that was fun. But yeah, college. I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I worked and helped tutor kids all through college. I was really just set on like I'm gonna graduate, get my job, make some money. And I had some fun along the way, but we don't need to talk about all that.
College was amazing because I'm a kid from Washington Heights, so everyone sounded the same, every Dominican sounded the same. So dorming in LIU was like, oh, not even all Dominicans sound the same. It was just like, I got to know so many different kind of people. I was the type of student that you call sort of like the mayor. I hung out with everybody.
You're still the mayor.
I'm still the mayor.
You are still the mayor.
But it allowed me to get along with everyone. I was in every club, and major plug, shout out to Omega Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I definitely pledged when I was an undergrad. The years where people still pledged, but that's okay. But it allowed me to also develop my business side and sort of boss side as well. So college truly, like the person you see today,
so you
kind of
took
formed
that with you.
Right. I think if I would have stayed in the hood, I still would have been successful. I just don't know how. But it opened up. Also, fun fact, I just love to travel, and I think meeting folks opened that up for me.
College. Honestly, I think for me, the more meaningful educational experiences came after that. I should have taken the route that Dee Dee did. I didn't know you could just go to college and start teaching, so I went to college, discovered I wanted to after, and then got 2 master's degrees, which was kind of like that opened the world for me a little bit, though. So I'm all in its own time. But one thing that was really important to me in college was experiencing having been in New York my whole life and being used to the diversity here. I got there and everybody had the same color hair, everybody had the same color eyes, everybody was the same religion, and that was a culture shock in itself. And I remember that a lot from college in Ohio, contrasting.
Shout out to Ohio. Road trip.
What do you think that like being assistant principal, like what could you like improve? Okay, this is gonna be the last question. What could you like improve, or like what would you want to change in the system as like a whole? Like what would you want to have impact on?
I think for me, because we work for the Department of Education, we are restricted to certain things that might be beneficial for our school or the way we lead. Some folks might think we're just being by the book or cookie cut, but we are tied down to certain rules where we're dynamic leaders that if we had a little bit more freedom, could really make dynamic change. We have changed the school. I have to say shout outs to us and our entire team. We are a full female team, by the way. Okay, so shout outs to that. But the politics of where we work sometimes prevent us from being fully change makers.
You have an answer? I already need a minute. I think that as APs, and people know this about me, I like to set the teachers up for success. So I wish I could give the teachers less to do, so that way they can do a better job for you guys. And that's how I see my role. And sometimes it's really hard to do that because of the system and bureaucracy we work with. So I try really hard to take things off as much as possible teachers' plate. Sometimes that makes more work for us, but I see that as part of my job because I want the teachers to be able to show up for you guys as best as they can. Good or bad, we're not here to talk about them right now, but I want them to be their very best. And that's how I see my role here.
As you should, as you should.
Obstacle removers, I think,
Yeah.
is what we all try to do.
Everything's our fault. Always. But
And
we
that-
do a good job, though.
Right. Okay.
And we
Before
get
we
yelled
go,
at
though.
too. Know that. We get yelled at too.
Oh, yeah. Before we go, though, happy birthday, Maddie! On Maddie's podcast.
But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys give your love and support to my woman team and also to your assistant principals as well. This is That's So Mad, the So Mad podcast, and we are out.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Good job.